Infosys provides world-class online IT training, staffing, and software testing solutions to customers worldwide. H2K Infosys, how we are different from our competitors. 100% job-oriented training, hands-on project work, cloud test lab, resume preparation and review, mock interviews, robust syllabus, one-time fee and lifetime access to classes, access to recorded sessions of live classes. H2K Infosys has won the trust of thousands of students worldwide. For a free demo class, visit us at h2kinfosys.com.
Hi guys, do you hear me? Okay. All right, so let's wait for a minute. Just wait for a minute or two, and then we'll start up. So anyone has any doubts? Did everyone create any classes and any constructors, any superclass, and come up with any kind of other different examples? Any doubts from anyone? We can discuss right now.
This is Ajit.
Hey Ajit.
Hi. So I have a question. So if you're making a constructor for a class, right?
Mm-hmm.
So can we add some logic to it, or it is just to initialize things?
It is basically only for initializing.
So if we, let's suppose I have something, because I just had a same scenario where I have a constructor and I have to initialize a session and then get the database connection. So I was creating that session in that one. I was actually getting that session from another class, and then getting that session in that constructor itself. So is it a bad thing or?
See, I mean, yes, initializing or connecting to the database is not something like you're doing some logic there. Okay, you're trying to before even your constructor is the time your object is created, you are getting ready with some connections there. Okay. By the way, that's not a good practice. Also, you can even use a static block, which we are going to discuss down the line. Okay. Even we can have some methods also in order to get the connection. So it's always good. It's a good practice to use some methods to get the connection. Okay. Constructor is basically used for only for initialization. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'll show you what I did and.
Okay.
Because I just want to have a good practice of code and then follow that.
Okay. Still folks are joining. So anyone else have any kind of doubts?
I have one question, Madhu. The last week videos regarding how to connect to the GitHub, I still don't understand exactly how to do it. Can you quickly show it once?
Okay, all right. So I'll just take 5 minutes.
The video quality was very, I couldn't see anything. So sorry, I couldn't get it.
Okay, not a problem. Okay, so you have the URL with you, right?
Yes, I have.
All right. So what you can do is, if you let me just take the same URL, git. Okay. So this would have been the same URL which I've given it to you. So that is your. Okay. So this is the URL which. All right. So this is the URL which I have it right now. The same thing you also must be having it. So what you do is go to your Windows, open Perspective, Others, and just click on the GIT. Okay, just double click on this. So this particular on the left hand side, if you can see, GIT repository is going to get open. So in here, what you do, as of now, I already have it. So what you do is you just let me do one thing. I think I've checked in all the files. I'm going to even delete this. So let me confirm that. Theme commit. Okay. So I have nothing left here. So okay, let me delete it. So I'm deleting all the things from my local repository right now. So I have nothing right here. All right. So if I go to my GIT repository, even let me delete this also. Remove, delete repository, delete and delete. Okay. All right. So as of the moment you come to your GIT repository, you will see something like this. Okay, it will say add clone or create a new local repository. So just the one you copied, the URL, just come here, or you can just click on your clone repository here. Okay, this one on the second one, the middle one, or otherwise you can just directly copy and paste it here somewhere. Just click on here and just paste it. And the moment you see this, you will get all this information here. And because the one which is already there in your clipboard, it is going to get copied here. And you don't have to give any username and password. It is only for me because I'm doing some modification and I'm checking the file. So for you, you don't need anything. Just say next and next. And you can very well check on this particular checkbox, import all existing project after clone is finished, and say finished. So your repository has been added here, and automatically in your package explorer or your navigator, all these things will be added to your machine. Okay. And then you can very well run all the examples from here.
Actually, I'm getting error when I say next, and error occurred when trying to connect to the GitHub. April, it shows the URL. Possible reasons it says is the incorrect URL, no network connection.
Might be the network connection would have been some problem with there, but that's how it is basically.
Another is .git is missing at the end of.
Did you copy the entire thing, the one which I have given it to you? So make sure you copy the entire stuff. Okay, starting from here to here. Just follow this again.
Jairam,
Yeah.
Can you paste it in
this
the
is
chat?
Lydia.
Yeah. Yes, Lydia.
I think I also had it, but I think I mean I slightly remember he has to select GIT, like when you there is a drop down menu, and when you click on that, you have to prior to doing that you have to select GIT source or something.
There is nothing as such as GIT
Not
here.
there. After say next, and then it gave me an option of selecting somewhere.
Okay.
I remember. I don't know where it is.
Okay, Madhu, just try this time. Otherwise, I'll sit with you and see.
See that host is GIT.
I think I fixed it. I think the URL you pasted worked fine. I think maybe I had missing the
okay.
.git.
Okay, all right. Okay,
Yep.
sounds good. Okay, there is a question here. What is the difference between constructors and class setters? Which is better? So the question is which is better? Basically, a constructor and the class setter, which we are going to see it right now. So let's Keith, just wait for a minute. I'll just talk about the methods first now, okay, and then we'll talk about the setters, and then we'll talk about setters and getters both, and then we'll talk about this particular problem. Okay, just stay tuned. Okay, so let me go to the workspace now, and coming back to the previous examples, let me just recap what we have learned. So we spoke about a woman class, we spoke about a men class, we spoke about a human, right? And this human is a super class because this is as human, and it has got couple of properties, and this and you have got some constructors here and multiple constructors here, and you have got men at last. Okay. You have got men right here, and as you see, the moment you invoke this men, automatically your constructor is going to get invoked of your superclass. And here in this woman, you basically see here, instead of I even have a constructor here, right? So in order to invoke my existing, I don't want to have this here in place. So what you can do is you can basically call your call your constructor using your super. Okay, the same thing I've done it here. I haven't done it here just to showcase that this is also a way to do it, and the other way out also you can do it. Okay, now here it is okay because you have only one variable or one instance variable to initialize it. Okay, but when it comes that in your human class you have got multiple variables here, which already your human constructor with having 3 arguments in it is taken care of. So there is no point in having again the same piece of code written here, right? So for that reason what we can do is, so I don't want to have this in picture, sorry, I don't want these things in picture. Okay, so what I can do is I can basically have, I mean, replace these 3 lines of code with a single line of code by saying super. Okay, now here again this is one more objective here. We are basically not overwriting the code, right? Or we are not writing anything which is extra. So here first of all it is object oriented. Okay, so you'll see what is the use of object oriented also. All right, so here in this case I'm just wasting, I'm just utilizing the resource which has already been used. So I'm just removing this. Okay, I can even comment this and I can uncomment this one. Okay, so this is my main objective here. And constructor, what is the main use of a constructor? It is only for initializing things. Okay, now next is let's try having some methods in it. Okay, now till now we spoke about the main method right now. Okay, and some states. All right, now let's say you have got long hair length. Now
Jairam?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, just before going further, I just have a quick question out there. You created a constructor which is same as the super class constructor, right? Suppose if you
not same as, only the signature is different, but
yeah, the signature is different.
Right.
But if you don't include that constructor, is the constructor from the superclass is automatically inherited?
No, constructors are not inherited actually. Okay, you have to explicitly call that.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. All right, so here I'm not using anything. Now this is all about the methods. We saw the constructor and we even saw how to overload the constructors, right? Now usually when you talk about let's say a human, when a human has got he's 6 feet tall and he's having good sportive build, right? So basically he's fit for playing basketball. So how he plays basketball depending on his height, whether he has to jump 2 feet or he has to jump 3 feet to reach the basket, right? So those are kind of behaviors. Now when I talk about, there are 2 things, one is a state and one is your behavior, right? Now here in this case, if you talk about human has got some properties, or in Java world we say it is a state. So human has got a state as name, he has got a height, and he has got a country. Now depending on the country, depending on the height, and depending on the name, he might be behaving somewhat different. Okay, so let's talk about the behavior right now. All right, now here I'm going to talk about some methods. So let's say let us start creating a methods right now. Now every method in Java, okay, we'll do one thing. We will create a new package. I hope everybody are pretty much well aware with the package structures, what is a package and what is the use of a package right now. At least there are a lot of other things also in the package, we'll see down the line as well. Okay, so as of now I hope you guys understood why did I use a package here. Just in order to make sure that okay, whenever I'm teaching extends example or superclass or subclass examples, I'm basically using a package in order to keep all my files there. Okay, now my topic will be methods. Okay, so for that reason I am having a packages methods. So let me say new class and let's say animal. Okay, so I created a class animal and let's say string color, and I'm going to say string int length, okay, and string breed. Right. So I've got three instance variables right now: color, length, and breed. And what I am going to do is I'm going to say some behavior. Let's say what is the behavior of an animal? Okay. So here in this case, I may even have a constructor also. I can say animal as a constructor, right? And I can initialize with some initial values. Let's say color equals to black. Okay, let me even not do this. Let it be like this. Okay. And there is no point in having a constructor without initializing anything. Okay. Now here in this case, I'm going to add up a method right now. The way we have seen a public static void main method, right? The same way we are going to have a method. And if you remember, if I say main method here, every method in Java will be having a return type. That means he is returning something. Now in this case, it is returning void, right? So you have to specify what it is, what it returns basically. Now let's see a small example right now. Okay, I'm going to say public. So this is the signature basically, and for now I'm just going to say public void print my behavior. Okay. Now this is a typical method which I've created right now with a return type as void. We'll see what is the difference between your void and when you try to return something. Very soon you're going to see that. Okay. Now here in this case, I'm just saying public void print my behavior. Now what I want to print basically, I want to say sys out. Okay, I want to say here my length is plus length. Okay, so it whenever you try to invoke, or let's say I want to call this particular method on a particular animal, this method is going to tell what kind of animal it is. Okay, the way you used to say on the animal dot color or dot length or dot breed, here I want to do some functionalities. Okay, I want to do some functionality. Let's say I want to say here if length equals to or length is greater than 2, right? GTH. I'm going to say if the length is greater than 2, then say that, let's say I'm going to say he's a huge animal. Okay, my length is 2 plus I am a big animal. All right. So this is a kind of behavior I want to put on to a particular animal whose length is more than 2. Else, I want to say here I am a normal animal. Okay. Animal. Okay. Now, this is how basically we create a method. Now, how do I invoke this method? Okay. Now, in this case, if you see, if I create an instance of a class, when I say creating an instance of the class, that means I have to use the keyword as new, right? So I have to say animal ani equals to new animal. All right. And I can basically say here animal dot color, right? So with the help of animal dot color, right? Okay, so what I have to do, I have to say sys out all right. So with the help of this reference, okay, what I can do, I can only access the properties of this particular class till now. All right. Now, with the help of this, I cannot basically print anything. Okay. So what I'm doing is right now I am trying to invoke a method, or I want to invoke the behavior of that particular class to understand what is the behavior, because as I said, depending on the state of this particular animal. Okay, let's say I'm going to create two animals. Let me have a constructor here, string length. Okay, so I'm going to say this dot length equals to control V and control V. Okay, now this is your int. All right, now here I'm going to say I'm going to create two animals. Let's say one animal length is 1, so this is your Pomerian dog, and the other dog is, let's say I'm going to create one more let's say animal, okay, whose length is 4, and a dog, an animal whose length is 4, let's say he's a tiger, right? Now I created two animal, one is a Pomerian dog, okay, and one is a tiger.
How does the program know that the value in the brackets 1 or 4 is the length?
Okay, all right. I think we already had a discussion on this, because here the moment you say you create two animals here, right? So in this case, if I say, let me open the paintbrush here. Now here in this case, this is your heap memory, and the heap memory, when you say animal, two animals, right? I created two animals here. In this case, if you see this, I created one Pomerian dog and one tiger, let's say. Okay, so there are two animals. One animal has got a length of 1, and the other animal has got a length of 4. So what happens the moment you say new of animal? Okay, so in your memory, what happens? And
yeah, that part I understand. This is just so you don't have to go over it again. I understood that. How does it know that 1 is the length of the animal? That's what I want to know.
1 is the length because, okay, you're using the constructor here, right? So what happens, you're passing the value here, and you're initializing the instance of that particular animal as length here.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, sorry, I missed that. Okay, I got it. Thank you.
All right. Now, so right now what you're doing is you are creating two animals, one with length 1, the other one with length 4. Okay. Now, what am I going to do is I'm going to invoke the methods of that particular animal, right? So when I say Pomerian dot print my behavior, and even I'm going to say tiger dot print my behavior. Okay, so what I do, I am right now invoking the methods in order to understand the behavior of the animal. Okay, so I can do a lot more functionalities using this particular method. Okay, you basically control the complete flow of the logic using some methods. You cannot do any logic here somewhere. I cannot copy and paste anything here, right? So all the method, all the logic has to go inside a method itself in Java. All right, so that is the key factor here. So anything, I cannot write anything, even though if you say system dot out dot println anywhere in the body of your class, that is not permittable. Okay, now everything has to go inside a method itself. All right, the only thing what you can do in a class, you can basically create some instance variables, okay, and you can initialize them, and that's all. Okay, and other things we'll see, we'll talk about some static blocks and stuff and all. Just stay tuned. All right, so here let us see what is going to happen right now the moment I right click run as Java application. So the first one, when I'm saying print my behavior, on which particular object I have invoked the print my behavior, I have invoked on Pomerian, right? So that the length is 1. So it is saying I'm a normal animal. Okay. The next one, when I'm invoking tiger dot print my behavior, it says I'm a big animal. Why? Because it is checking for a condition here, right? So depending on that, I can basically invoke, have some behavior of this particular animal. I know that, okay, the moment I say print my behavior, I'm trying to understand what kind of animal is that. Okay, so this is the basic signature of a method. So as I said, every method should either have return type or not. Okay, so here in this case I do not have any kind of return type, and I'm just trying to access this method because I want to print something here. Okay, now the way we saw in the previous examples, we spoke about overloading your constructors, right? Here in this case there is a constructor with one argument. Here there is a constructor with three arguments. Okay, so depending on that, what happens during runtime itself, the moment you access your constructor with three argument, so basically your this particular constructor gets invoked. Okay, if you access this one, obviously this is going to get invoked. Okay, now the same thing, let's see here. We will see the same thing using your method overloading. All right, now how do you do your method overloading? Now right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this, okay, the same method here, and enter. So what basically it does is, as you know, in the same case with your constructor also, you cannot have the same signature of two constructors in the same class itself, right? So if it says duplicate method, print my behavior in type animal, right? So it says one quick fix available, rename method with some other name. I don't want to do that because my main objective is to teach what is a overloading here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say let's say string breed. All right, so what I did is I have overloaded this particular method right now. Okay, now if you can see, I'm having the same method name, right? Return type is same, but the entire when you talk about a signature, everything comes into picture. So your signature should be different between two methods in a class. So in that case only you say it is a method overloading. Okay, now the same thing, I want to do some functionalities here. Okay, I'll just copy this and paste it here. All right, now when I talk about breed, I can even put some condition here. If the length is greater than 2 and breed, okay, equals to let's say POMO. Okay, so let me just copy this and paste it here. So I basically want to say that if the length is greater than 2 and if the breed is equals to, let's say, tiger, so it is going to say okay, and the breed equals to tiger, so it is going to say my length is so and so and I'm a big animal, right? Else if the breed equals to POMO, then it is going to say I'm a normal animal, right? So depending on now right now, let's see what's going to happen if I run this class. Right click, run as Java application. It is going to invoke which particular method. If you see this method is going to invoke because I am basically accessing the method without any arguments. The moment I add something here, let's say tiger, okay, so what happens, you are basically passing this value tiger to this particular method, okay, and during a runtime this method is going to get invoked. All right, so right click, run as Java application. All right, so I even may say animal dot. So right click, run as Java application. Wait, so here what's happening, my length is 4, I'm a big animal. Wait, okay, let me just comment this out and let me even comment this out. Okay, so on this Pomerian, okay, I'm just calling it this on the Pomerian, right click. So obviously it is going to say right click, run as Java application. All right. So it is going to come here, right? And I'm actually working on a Pomerian right now. And when you talk about a Pomerian here, you said the length of the Pomerian is 1, okay? And even I'm giving a value as tiger. So for that reason, it is not even matching if condition, nor even it is matching your else condition, okay? So what I can do is I can just take out this else condition here. Okay, so it all depends on your logic, what you basically do it. So right click, run as Java application. It is going to say I'm a normal animal here right now. Okay, well, the main objective here to understand what is the method overloading. So depending on the signature of your method, that particular method is going to get invoked. Okay, any questions?
Jairam, very quick question. So if when you pass the argument, if it is a different data type, is it still considered as overriding?
Now if you add a different data type, first of all, your let's say I'm going to say int, let's say I'm going to say 10, let's say example, right? First of all, you will get a compile time issue.
No, if you have two different methods, one is data type int, the other one is string.
Okay.
Are they considered overloading?
Yes, it does. Okay. So in this way, now if you can see here, if I'm going to pass 10 here, this particular method is going to get invoked. Let's say systrace plus let's say I'm integer. I'm going to say I am integer. Okay.
H2K Infosys provides world-class online IT training, staffing, and software testing solutions to customers worldwide. H2K Infosys, how we are different from our competitors. 100% job-oriented training, hands-on project work, cloud test lab, resume preparation and review, mock interviews, robust syllabus, one-time fee and lifetime access to classes, access to recorded sessions of live classes. H2K Infosys has won the trust of thousands of students worldwide. For a free demo class, visit us at h2kinfosys.com.